Okay, let's deep dive.
Let's do it.
We're looking at a whole stack of recent AI news analysis, really trying to make sense of it all.
Yeah, there's a lot happening.
Our mission here is, well, to cut through that noise for you, connect some dots, pull out what really matters.
Because it's moving so fast, you've got these huge advances, but also big legal fights, security worries.
Exactly. That's the moment we're in, isn't it? Breakneck speed, but also friction. Competition heating up globally, too.
It really is. And this batch of sources, it kind of highlights that tension perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Big capability leaps, big challenges popping up right alongside them.
That tension, yeah, that feels like the core theme. So where do we start? The big players.
Makes sense. OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, they've all been busy, according to these reports.
Okay, OpenAI first. What's caught your eye?
Well, obviously the new models, ChatGPT 4.1 for paid users, fine. But then 4.1 mini,
The free one.
exactly, making that level of AI free, that's a significant move for accessibility. Pushes it out way beyond the early adopters.
Right. So more people can actually use this more advanced stuff. And they're thinking bigger, too, like physically bigger, this Stargate data center.
Yeah, scouting in Asia Pacific, apparently.
Yeah.
Massive scale. Signals are really planning for huge growth in demand and capability.
But it's not just hardware, is it? Their India partnership sounds pretty comprehensive.
Oh, definitely. It's way more than just, handing out some free credits. They're talking infrastructure, education.
An open AI academy, training thousands.
25,000 students, yeah, plus teachers. Talent development, multilingual model training, city workshops, and the startup credits.
Wow. That's embedding themselves deeply. Talent, data, market, all of it.
For sure. Though it's worth noting the sources mention local experts calling for strong privacy and ethical checks alongside all that.
Back to that tension again. Okay, Google, what's the latest on Gemini?
The Gemini 2.5 Pro preview. That's the big one.
What's new there? The reports highlighted upgrades in
Coding, math, reasoning, pretty core stuff. And crucially, doubled the token capacity.
which means
It can handle much, much longer inputs. Think massive documents, long conversations without losing the thread. Really important for complex tasks.
And how does it stack up competitively?
Well, the report suggests it's outperforming ChatGPT and Claude, specifically on coding benchmarks. So they're aiming high.
And they even hinted at a future coding model, Kingfall.
Yeah, Gemini Kingfall. Sounds like they're serious about that space.
Beyond the core model, though, they're adding features, accessibility stuff.
Real-time captioning in Gemini Live, yep. But the one that feels really practical for you, is the automation coming to the Gemini assistant.
Automation, like scheduling things.
Exactly. Scheduling, automating daily tasks across different apps, moving beyond just being a reminder app to actually, organizing things proactively for you.
Huh. Could that replace things like my calendar reminders?
The sources seem to think it might, yeah. And DeepMind's also working on an AI email assistant.
Oh, thank goodness. Filtering, drafting responses.
That's the goal. Tackling email overload directly.
I need that.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how the market just jumps on this news, right? The AI crypto coins.
RNDR, FET.
Yeah.
Yeah, they spiked on the Gemini news.
Yeah.
Shows how closely watched these AI developments are, even in related tech sectors.
Okay, so shifting to Anthropic, what are they up to?
Their big move is Claude Gov.
Gov? As in government?
Specifically, U.S. national security agencies. An AI suite built with their input, designed for those high-stakes environments.
That's a significant step. AI moving into really sensitive
It
areas.
definitely requires a different level of trust and security. And on the competition side, they made a bit of a defensive play,
Oh.
reportedly blocking a rival company, Windsurf, from accessing Claude models.
Why?
Well, it came amid rumors that OpenAI might actually acquire Windsurf, so it looks like Anthropic not wanting to indirectly help a major competitor.
Wow. So access to the models themselves is becoming a competitive weapon. High stakes, like you said.
Absolutely. It shows how tight the competition is at that foundational level.
Okay, so that's the big labs. How is all this tech actually showing up in tools? For the rest of us. Creatives, businesses.
Well, the most obvious one right now is probably AI video. It's just exploding.
OpenAI, Sora, Google's VO,
Yeah.
turning text into video clips.
Yeah, and often surprisingly high quality, almost cinematic results just from a prompt.
And Microsoft's getting involved too.
Yeah.
Putting Sora into Bing.
Big video creator, yeah. Mobile first, apparently, doing 5-second clips to start, but rolling out globally.
So suddenly, anyone with a phone can generate video.
That's the idea, really democratizing it. What used to seem like super advanced tech is becoming much more accessible.
And it's not just making video, right? There's editing, too. ElevenLabs.
Right, their Modify video tool for Dream Machine. This lets you change elements within an existing video clip.
Like change someone's shirt.
Yeah.
Or the background.
Exactly, without needing to reshoot. It's limited to 10 seconds right now, but the potential for saving time in editing is massive.
Huge for content creators. And what about audio?
ElevenLabs, their new 11 V3 voice generator.
What's special about that one?
It's reportedly much better at expressing subtle emotions, even things like laughter. And it supports over 70 languages.
70 languages.
Yeah.
With emotion. That could completely change things like audiobooks or dubbing films.
Absolutely. A big step towards more natural-sounding AI voices. Then switching gears a bit, software development.
Yes, Cursor AI. That valuation was eye-watering. $9.9 billion.
Yeah, from any sphere. They're positioning themselves as a leader in AI-powered code editing, having the AI right there conversationally while you code.
So investors clearly think AI is going to fundamentally change how software gets built, not just writing bits of code, but being part of the whole process.
Seems that way. It's integrating deep into professional workflows.
Okay, so creative tools, coding. What about really critical areas like healthcare, science?
Huge potential there, obviously. But the sources also show some reality checks.
Like what?
Well, one big survey found that even though healthcare organizations hope generative AI can help with burnout and staffing.
Which are massive problems.
Right, but most of them feel really unprepared to actually implement it safely and effectively right now. There's a gap.
That's interesting. Despite tools like, wasn't there one for pandemics? Pandemic LLM?
Yeah, from Johns Hopkins and Duke. Using real-time data to trend predict disease spread, hospitalizations. Basically an early warning system for the next pandemic.
That's a powerful idea. And what about for individual patients? Heart disease.
New AI tools are emerging there too, helping doctors spot risk factors faster, more accurately from scans or data. The goal is earlier intervention, better outcomes.
So AI assisting doctors, making them more effective.
Exactly. And there was a specific example mentioned at Northwestern Medicine, a generative AI system for radiology reports.
Did it work?
Apparently doubled productivity for some radiologists without sacrificing accuracy, helping them get through critical cases faster, especially important given shortages in that field.
Okay, so it's augmenting the experts, helping handle workload. That makes sense.
But as AI pushes into these crucial areas, the other side gets sharper too. The legal issues, the ethics, the security risks.
Right. This is where, as you said, the rubber meets the road. And the sources had plenty on this. The New York Times lawsuit against OpenAI.
That's a big one. The core claim is misuse of copyrighted material for training.
And the court order related to it, making OpenAI keep deleted user data.
Yeah, indefinitely hold on to deleted ChatGPT conversations and data. Huge privacy red flags raised there.
Is OpenAI fighting that?
Oh, yeah. They're appealing, arguing it violates user privacy and sets a bad precedent. This case could really define the rules for data and copyright in AI going forward. It's fundamental.
Feels like it. And there's another big one coming up. Getty Images versus Stability AI.
Right. That trial will tackle whether AI companies can just scrape copyrighted images from the web for training data.
So can they legally use all that stuff?
That's the question. The outcome will have massive implications for copyright law and how creative AI gets developed globally. Big precedents will be set.
So these lawsuits could change the very foundation of how AI is built. Okay, beyond the courts. Security threats.
They're definitely evolving. OpenAI themselves reported tracing a lot of misuse attempts, scams, misinformation back to China, which flags the global nature of this challenge.
And didn't OpenAI also say they disrupted some state-linked groups?
Yeah, groups that they linked to the Chinese government using ChatGPT for covert influence campaigns, fake social media stuff, cyber actions. They banned the accounts.
So AI is a tool for geopolitical stuff.
It appears so. And the threat's closer to home, too. For businesses, especially small ones.
Ransomware.
Experts are warning about malicious AI tools hiding ransomware, often disguised as helpful AI business apps.
Ouch. So what's the advice?
Be super vigilant, beef up security, keep software updated, and crucially have offline backups. Basic cyber hygiene, but even more critical now.
And even inside big companies, there are worries. CISOs?
Chief Information Security Officers, yeah. They're concerned that generative AI is being adopted by employees faster than the company's security policies can keep up.
Leading to potential data leaks.
Or other vulnerabilities, yeah. If people are pasting sensitive company info into public AI tools without clear rules, It's risky.
Makes sense. And there are direct legal consequences, too. Lawyers using AI.
In the UK, the High Court put lawyers on notice. Submit false info generated by AI in court, and you could face prosecution, even disbarment.
Wow. So real accountability is needed when using these tools professionally.
Absolutely. Can't just blindly trust the output in high-stakes situations. Then there are the straight-up ethical nightmares.
Like the deepfakes.
Yeah. Sources mention social media platforms running ads for tools that facilitate explicit AI deepfakes.
Ads for those. Seriously.
Literally. And a CBS investigation found 6% of U.S. teens say they've been victimized by this. Huge pressure building on platforms to stop enabling it.
6%. That's horrifying. And it's not just deepfakes of real people, the K-pop avatar thing.
Right, the AI avatars of idols, like from that RB-Walmigo partnership. Reports said they enabled explicit chats with these avatars.
So exploiting their likeness. Virtual abuse.
That's the concern, yeah. Raises serious questions about consent, likeness rights, and where the ethical lines are with virtual interactions. It's murky and troubling territory.
It really is. So much potential for harm if these things aren't handled carefully.
Yeah.
Okay, stepping back a bit, what about the broader competitive scene? People moving around.
Definitely. A big trend noted is former OpenAI staffers starting their own AI companies.
Like Safe Superintelligence, Thinking Machines Lab.
Exactly. They're attracting billions in funding, spinning out to focus on different AI areas, which just fuels more innovation and competition overall.
And the established giants are making moves too. Apple buying ElevenLabs.
Yeah, a stealth acquisition, apparently. ElevenLabs does real-time AI monitoring and security. Seems like Apple's move to strengthen its own AI capabilities and security, keeping pace with Google and OpenAI.
Everyone wants a piece of the action, or at least to secure their position. What about the infrastructure side? Anything new?
Hitachi announced something called IQ Time Machine. It's about managing data versions for AI models.
Why is that important?
Lets companies easily access or roll back to older datasets. Crucial for things like compliance audits or just ensuring model reliability over time. A practical need for enterprises using AI seriously.
Got it. And training efficiency, getting faster.
Mango Boost apparently set a record, fine-tuning a huge 70 billion parameter model in under 11 minutes using AMD GPUs.
Under 11 minutes. For a model that big.
Yeah, shows progress in making the training process for these massive models much more efficient and scalable. That's key to building even bigger ones.
And governments are noticing all this competition. U.S. lawmakers pushing for faster AI adoption.
Absolutely. The sources highlight a push for the U.S. federal government to integrate AI more quickly, responsibly, of course, in areas like healthcare, defense.
And remove roadblocks.
Yeah, cut regulatory hurdles, modernize government IT. It's framed very much as needing to stay ahead in the global AI race, explicitly mentioning rivals like China. It's become a national strategic priority.
That geopolitical angle just keeps getting stronger. But amidst all this hype about super powerful AI, are there still limits?
Oh, for sure. And it's important to remember that. New research shows that even the most advanced reasoning models, they still stumble on really complex problems.
So they're not magic problem solvers for everything yet.
Not yet. They're amazing tools, but there's still a way to go in developing truly deep, flexible reasoning. More innovation is needed there.
Okay, so let's bring this all together. We've covered a ton. What does all this mean for you listening? Why should you care about all these different threads?
Well, I mean, on a basic level, it's about understanding the tools you're probably already using or are about to encounter. ChatGPT, Gemini, those video and audio tools. They're becoming mainstream.
Right, and knowing the risks that come with them.
Exactly. The potential for misinformation, scams dressed up as AI, the data privacy issues highlighted by these lawsuits, and the ethical concerns like deepfakes. You need to be aware.
It's also about seeing how industries are changing, right? Healthcare, law, creative work. This stuff is actively reshaping jobs and services.
Definitely. Understanding that transformation helps you see where things might be headed in your own field or just in the services you use. And seeing the bigger picture.
The global race.
Yeah, that competition between countries and companies is driving a lot of this development, for better or worse. It sets the context for everything else.
So this deep dive, it's really about giving you that context, helping you navigate this ridiculously fast-moving world beyond just the headlines.
That's the goal, connecting the dots.
We really did cover a huge range today.
Yeah.
Cutting-edge models, new tools, massive legal fights, serious security threats, global jockeying. It's a lot.
It really underscores the sheer speed and scale of change right now. Nothing feels incremental anymore.
Which leads to maybe a final thought, something these sources bring into sharp focus. We see these incredible advancements happening almost daily.
But we also see these complex challenges popping up just as fast. Privacy lawsuits, copyright battles, deepfake misuse, ransomware adapting.
So the big question feels like, how do we actually decide what guardrails this technology needs, given how fast it's moving and how high the stakes are?
Yeah, and who's responsible for building those guardrails? Is it the companies? Governments? Us? How do we make sure this AI revolution actually works for everyone and doesn't just create a whole new set of problems?
That balance between innovation and responsibility.
It feels like the central challenge we need to grapple with right now, something for everyone to think about.